going to be doing an update for my Pan That palette. I'm so excited because I've hit my first pan. How exciting. And yeah, we're going to talk through all of the progress I've made and the usage, all that fun stuff. So if you don't know, I am panning the CipiCipi Tokyo Beige palette. I bought this when I was in Japan with my husband last May, so I'm excited to be diving in. I hadn't used this brand before, and so far, so good. So let me start off by showing you the comparison of the visual progress from last month to this month, and then we'll dive into the dirty details. Okay, so the big news here is I've hit pan in this shade. Very, very exciting. And it's become a good size pan here. So this is the shade Vanilla Syrup. We can start here and then we'll go through the others. And this is the shade that I use to set down my eyeshadow primer. So it's the first shade I'm putting onto my eyelids each day when I wear eye makeup. Last month I had 18 uses, now I have 35, so very consistent. Again, I'm wearing it every time I wear makeup. So that has been going well in my first pan in here. So we'll update my pan percentage and all of that here in a moment. But moving through the other shades, so let's go back over here. This is the shade Bubbly. It is kind of a chunkier glitter shade. I think it's pretty. I just tap off like the excess, you know, like that on my brush. It is, yeah, I would say kind of a chunkier glitter. I like it though. It offers, you might not even be able to see that. The sun is really funny right now, but it offers a nice shine. I put this down first and then I typically am putting another shimmery shade over it if I don't want something as like kind of stark champagne-y. So I might put this one over. I also had a companion palette in this month. It's the ColourPop Sorbet Quad. So there's a really pretty kind of icy purple and pink in here. So I might layer these over it. This was fun for Valentine's month, but just gave it a slightly different finish and slightly different hue of color. So that was nice. But anyway, Bubbly here, I do think will be the next shade to hit pan on. I have a pretty good dip in it. I feel like it's kind of any day now. So last month I had 14 uses. I now have 31 uses on this shade. So I really think that that one's going to be pretty soon here. So jumping across over here now, this is the shade Our Beige. It's a nice kind of light brown matte shade. I use this in my crease quite a bit as a transition shade. Last time I had 15 uses, now I have 24. So using that pretty consistently. Again, it's a nice kind of warmer brown shade. It's a great base building shade. Moving to the middle row here, this sparkly one is called Orange Blossom. I usually will layer this with the Bubbly shade if I want, you know, a little bit more of a golden look. So that's working well. This will be pretty on its own as well. I think in the fall time, that would be really nice, or even in the summer, like a one shadow look. So I'm excited for this shade throughout the year. This one I had 14 uses last month and now I have 22. So solid uses. And then I have this shade in the middle. This is Toasted Caramel. I used this one. I have a total of 19 uses. Last time I had 12 uses. This one I use in my crease as well, kind of after this lighter transition shade, or I've been using this pinkier transition shade when I use like these pinkier colors. But this is usually something I'm using just to kind of deepen that crease up a little bit, especially on the outer kind of edge a little bit more. Then I have Brown Butter here, this deepest brown. It's a matte. I have a little bit of a dent in here of where I've focused my brush. Hopefully you can see it on this edge. From a kind of detailed liner brush. I've been using it as like a smudgy kind of brown liner on my lash line here and there. So I have 15 uses on it. Last time I used it 10 times. So doing okay there. I don't think this is one that I will finish all the way up. I will probably just hit pan on it. I typically don't finish up dark shades when I pan things, so it's okay. And then I have this larger shade, so this could be a blush or an eyeshadow. I've been using it, I think I used it as a blush twice in January. So I've primarily been using it as a eyeshadow, as a transition shade. Like I said, when I use kind of those pinkier purple shimmeries from the companion palette. So this one is called Dear Tokyo, and I have 25 uses. Last month I had 9 uses, so I used it pretty consistently. It's very pretty. I probably will need to use it as a blush to make significant progress, but I do like it that way too, so that'll be fine. And then Allure is on the end here. This is a shimmery champagne, so my plan is to kind of focus on Bubbly for my lid, and then I'm using Allure here on the inner like corner of my eye because I like a shimmery highlight there. Once Bubbly is gone, then I can use this all over the lid and then I'll really burn through it, but that's kind of my strategy because this is just a little too chunky of glitter for my inner corner. It kind of irritates me, and this is a much more finer shimmery shade, so it's working for me. So Allure has 28 uses. Last time I had 17 uses, so I've used every single shade in here more than once, which is great. I'm really loving it. So with regards to the companion palette, I brought this one in. Like I said, I think I used all of these shades at least once, primarily the 2 shimmery shades though. So this was fun. I'm going to roll it out, and for the month of March, I'm not going to have a companion palette. I'm just going to use this eyeshadow palette as my base. I would love to see a good expansion, if not finishing this shade up all the way, this vanilla syrup, and then I definitely want to see Pan and Bubbly. So I just kind of want to focus in on that over the month. And I think that's pretty doable. It doesn't seem, you know, out of line or anything like that. So that's going to be my plan for March. So let's talk weight. So I do weigh this component, this whole palette every month. So it started at 79 grams. Last month in January's update, I weighed it and it was 78 grams. I weighed it today, it's still at 78 grams. So I didn't have any changes. That's fine. That's kind of like, you know, the scale is going to tip whenever it tips. It doesn't mean like I could be really close to 77 and after 2 more uses I tip. It just is kind of a timing thing. So it's just a fun indicator, but it doesn't mean everything. But let's look at my pan percentage here. So I actually started the year off with 0 eyeshadow pans. I had been panning my ColourPop singles last year, and I ended up decluttering all of them. So I actually started this year with a 0% pan percentage just for my eyeshadows. So I also did a downsizing of my eyeshadow and makeup collection in general at the end of the year during Vlogmas. And so I only have 57 eyeshadows in my entire collection, which for me actually feels like a really good number. I love the palettes I have. I have variety. I have the shades that I want to use, but I don't have too much duplicate, which is actually pretty nice for me. So now that I've hit Pan and Bubbly, I have 1 eyeshadow with Pan on it. So I have a 1.75% pan percentage. So I'm just going to color in on my grid here. These are all of the palettes I have, and I'm just going to color or mark here where I hit Pan, which is right here. So we'll track this throughout the year. It's been fun to see this, you know, kind of change over time. But yeah, that's going to be it for my update today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon in the next one.